Greetings all you ghouls and ghastly souls. Today is the very last day of Angryween. Yeah, it's been tough, challenging, almost impossible to make 31 episodes in such a short time. Something I really don't want to do again, but it has also been an awesome ride down memory lane for me. And hopefully some of you guys too. And therefore, I decided to end with a bang and look at Scary Godmother.
Scary Godmother was a children's book which later became a CG animated movie.
And if there's something I hate, it's CG animated movies. So, let's dig right into Scary Godmother.
The first thing we see is a weird looking art style which I believe is supposed to be houses.
If you look really closely, you can see that none of these houses has any sort of symmetry. Was this book by any chance made by Dr. Seuss?
Okay, jokes aside, these books were made by Jill Thompson, someone who strangely resembles Scary Godmother. The next thing we see is that this city is off to go trick-or-treating, and the animation...
It really lags a lot. It reminds me of that early Donkey Kong show or Transformers Beast Wars. But that was 1966. And this is fucking 2003! 7 years later, guys. 7 years later.
Okay, enough about the shitty graphics. We see our first non-protagonist, Daryl, who is on his way to meet his friends, who is Katie the cat, Bert the baseball player, and Jimmy the devil. I thought it might be easier if I told who is in what costume.
Oh, what's that? Why do I focus so much on these guys even though they're not the protagonist? Because so does the movie.
No, the real protagonist is Hannah, Jimmy's little cousin, who none of them wants to babysit on Halloween because she's a scared little girl. How do I know this?
Flashback? Flashback. Hit it! Are you anxious to get outside with all the monsters, Pumpkin? Monsters?
That's how. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The rest are even worse.
Just look at Katie's acting. It's terrible.
Especially that Katie.
If you can't animate properly, then just make the audience believe it's intentional.
After that rather annoying flashback, they decide to ditch Hannah, but not just do that, no. They want to scare her so much that she willingly runs home. And here is where the shit starts.
And this person is about to give you all nightmares until Christmas. Wouldn't that be a cool sequel? Nightmare Until Christmas?
This is Scary Godmother, a witch that is sent here to help Hannah not being scared of monsters.
What were you so scared of that it made you cry? Monsters.
So, this is like Fairly Odd Parents on Halloween?
She takes Hannah to the fright side, I believe she said.
I'll take you over to my realm in the fright side and introduce you. Let's go!
And now starts the generic music that you could swear is in most movies, but you don't know the name nor origin.
Oh yeah, that song. I remember. That song was in... the name was... I don't know.
A little side note before we move on. If you look really close, you will see that the layout of the spook house and Scary's house is identical. But not before long we meet Scary Godmother's broom maid.
A monster! That's no monster! It's just my broom mate.
That's actually a joke they made. But not the worst one.
The broom maid is a fashionista skeleton named Skelly. Why is he a fashionista?
Oh, it is the spookiest Phantom Fest in the whole realm. Everyone will be there.
And he lives in a closet.
Does everyone have a skeleton in their closet?
Almost everyone, little miss.
Oh, that is painful. That is the worst joke I've heard all month. And I watched Doc's Avenger.
It appears that Scary and Skelly is hosting a party for their friends, which they want Hannah to participate in so she can see that monsters isn't scary.
I like parties.
The first monster to appear is Harry the werewolf.
A monster! Only to his mother. It's just Harry! Hi, Harry! Come on in!
And his role in this movie is... annoying friend who eats and talks too much. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Okay, that's too much.
Yes, he is in fact that annoying friend everybody have in movies. That does nothing other than being rude, talking too much and eating all of the snacks.
Where are those wonderful smells emanating from? The goodie plate, I believe. You won't mind if I just sample the delicacies, do you?
Why do they even invite him then?
One thing I noticed on his jackets are those weird marks. Are they supposed to be holes?
Because I believe a 5th grader could rent a better holes in a jacket.
Seriously, it's like Alone in the Dark 5 with the wounds on the jacket. If you can't create it properly, then don't do it! Oh well, they don't give us enough time to react before the next gag, which is Harry mistaking Hannah for his favorite actor or something.
I'm really a huge fan!
You know who she is?
Of course! It's Ophelia St. Tartar!
So he's basically an annoying nerd who's also extremely rude. I wonder where I've heard that before.
Oh yeah, here and there they cut back to the 4 kids, to remind us that they are in the movie or...
Oh, and Miss Shoeless Joe? For 3 kisses.
something like that. They are forced to wait outside the house for Hannah since they don't want to leave her in there.
You just left your baby cousin to the mercy of killer monsters on Halloween night, and you're concerned with the additions and upgrades in my cardboard SUV?
We then cut to the next guest, which is...
Nosferatu, I think.
No, this is Count Max, his wife Ruby and their son Horson.
Hello, Count Max, Ruby, Orson.
They have a quick joke about vampires and humans, including vampires not allowed to enter your home unless you invite them.
Oh no, that's right. Vampires can't enter a house unless you invite them in. Really?
The pleasure is ours.
Oh my god! That was creepy! The motionless action, the quick movement, the ferocious art style. Yeah, that was scary.
The next monster to arrive is another broom-maid called Bugaboo, who is apparently terrifying for Hannah. They have a terrible, and I mean terrible, chase scene leading to the fact that flashlights don't scare away monsters.
What are you, a coal miner?
But my dad said...
But even though they talk it through, Hannah is still afraid and calls Bugaboo a lot of things. So many hurtful things that he decides to leave.
I don't care what kind of monster he is. Keep him away from me. He's big and mean and scary looking.
But is persuaded to stay.
Does that mean you'll stay?
Lady, if you don't stop smiling like that, I'm the one who's leaving.
You got it! After all, it is my house.
That's funny, I never saw him as a landlord.
It is my house.
We then briefly cut back to the other kids.
Door is ajar. Door is ajar.
Not much going on here.
Why isn't she screaming yet?
We then have a spontaneous dance scene with Hannah and all the monsters.
You know, because they wanted to show you that they could animate that too. And to drag the movie out even more, I assume.
After that dance, we cut back to Jimmy and the gang who is voting to see who's the leader.
Recount! That's 1 vote for everyone.
Recount!
Will you two stop it?
Never mind that, let's move on. It appears that Count Max is an old geezer who doesn't know fashion nor to properly look at people.
Too modern and too little for my tastes. You can practically see her ankles. Exactly.
They accidentally wakes up Harry, who Max hypnotized a while ago. And now, Harry is on an eating spree, resulting in them ordering pizza.
Hey, pizza!
Pizza!
Pizza?
Pizza!
We also have a scene with Max not being able to speak to others at parties.
I am simply no good at parties. Look at the others, conversing with ease. I feel out of touch.
Which is really odd, since he had no problem doing that just a second ago.
1 century it is corsets and bustles, and the next thing you know, it's platforms and miniskirts.
Well, thank you.
The pizza arrives, which leads to what I think is the only decent joke in this movie.
Of course, you could sign for it.
No. Sorry. My soul is worth more than 12 pizzas.
I have to say, that is somewhat funny.
They have another gag about Harry trying to eat all the pizzas himself. Surprise, surprise. And we see more of Scary's magic.
You have wrecked my cat.
Which really looks like some lousy 80s special effects.
Even Power Rangers effects looks better. And that is supposed to be cheesy.
We have now reached the end, which is the monster scaring of the 4 kids who left Hannah behind, and really...
Haven't they suffered enough already? I mean, they missed Halloween because of the stupid prank. Do you really need to send monsters their way?
Now what are we gonna do? We've practically missed Halloween.
Oh well, it ends with Jimmy accepting Hannah, and Harry mentioning he's hungry.
So,
I could do it better.
any pizza left? What?
And that is the big ending. A any pizzas left joke. Great.
This movie is actually so bad, it's funny. The animation is lousy, making some quite awkward scenes that wasn't supposed to be. The art style is also weird. There's really not much going on. And I didn't even show you Katie's twin dressed up as a bumblebee. The story is a bit too simple for my taste. The conversations between the monsters and Hannah feels rushed and unfinished. I mean, they get interrupted for some hate Harry jokes half the time anyway. It's just not well made.
That's the end of the movie, and frankly also the end of Angryween. Man, this has been great. I'm actually sad it's over. I really enjoyed doing this. Oh well, all good things comes to an end. See you next year, I guess. And also next week, since I'm back to regular schedule now.